So today we're going to talk about how to get rid of complacency with your life, with your business. Depending on what it is that you do, each and every one of us is going to reach a place, a point, a moment that we feel complacent, like you don't feel the drive, you don't feel like you want it as bad as you wanted it before. Something is missing. Some fire within that used to be there at the beginning is not there anymore. Something that caused you to do this, as we call it, go all in and do it. You just can't go all in anymore because you don't have it, or something is missing, or you're just feeling comfortable. So I want to talk about that. I actually wrote down 10 different points that I'd like to go over today, which I'm going to do now, try to go as quickly as possible. Then I'll open up the mic and allow you guys to participate as well. So our goal today is to help you discover maybe something that you haven't seen before about yourself and about the process that you're going through, what's standing between you and achieving the success level you wish to achieve with your life. The first thing I wrote down is being overconfident for past successes. Overconfidence for past successes. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people may become complacent when they experience consistent success, which is then leading them to believe their current methods are always going to work. So I used to do it this way, this is how I'm doing it, and I achieve success, therefore I continue to do that, even though something can change, and all of a sudden what I used to do is not working anymore, or it's not working as good as it used to. Maybe I did something that made me 100,000 a year, and now it's not even making me 20,000. Maybe I did something that made me 500,000, and now I'm down to 150,000. Whatever it is, being overconfident about what we used to do. Hey, this is what I feel comfortable doing. This is what made me successful. That kind of language that's going on, in someone's head can stop you from achieving more. So I'm going to mention the 10 points, and then I'm going to actually going to give you an approach, something you can do. For example, with this particular one, you want to schedule a routine check-in to assess recent performance and identify areas needing improvement. You need to look at what you're doing, see what works, and try to grow what's working and eliminate completely what's not working. So in order to know what's working, what's not working, you got to actually assess. You got to, take a break. And this is what, we do best as coaches, sitting with you, looking at what you do, start measuring. And after a couple of weeks of working, all of a sudden you recognize a couple of different things that you didn't think about before. And all of a sudden it's in front of you and you are capable of actually looking at it. So the approach is, first of all, you need to understand, past successes is not going to guarantee you future success. You just need to come to a full understanding of this point. What happened in the past happened in the past, okay? You need to understand what is causing you to become successful today, or what's not causing you to become successful, and then eliminate what's not working and grow what's working. So that's point number one, overconfidence for past successes. Second point I wrote down, lack of clear goals and direction. If you don't have clear goals ahead of you, if you don't see exactly where it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to achieve, where do you want to go? You're in point A in your life. You want to go to point B. If you don't know what point B is going to look like, that's going to cause you to become complacent. It's going to make you feel like, I'm okay where I'm at. And that's obviously going to cause you to do less. And when you do less, you make less. So without clear, specific goals, you're going to feel unmotivated. You're going to feel that you have no direction, which obviously, naturally, is going to lead you to complacency. What do you want to do to eliminate it? You want to write some SMART goals. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So the goals you're writing, we spoke about many weeks ago, they need to be specific. What are you trying to accomplish? What is it? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Okay, it has to be measurable. I want to make X amount. I want to lose X amount of weight, etc. It needs to be achievable. If you made last year 120,000 and this year you want to make 850,000, not so realistic. So you want to, an achievable goal will be, okay, I made 120, I want to go to 300, 250 to 300, achievable. Needs to be relevant. Needs to be something that's actually touching you right now, you feel excited about. And then obviously time bound, you need to know when you're going to achieve that goal. So breaking down large goals into smaller goals, actionable steps, regularly review of where you are, your progress, okay? That has to be done by yourself, hopefully with a coach. That's going to help you eliminate complacency. Number 3, fear of failure or rejection. Now, we spoke about eliminating fear a couple of weeks ago. I suggest you, if you don't recall the call or you didn't watch the call, go back on the YouTube channel, pick it up and look at it. Eliminating fear is very important. I mean, you want to go on the next level. You're not going to go anywhere if you're scared. So the fear of hearing no, fear of rejection, okay, or fear of failing can cause you easily to avoid taking risks, avoid taking action, and it's going to lead you to a comfort zone of complacency. You're just going to be there doing what you do, but you're not going to go from 120 to 300 with that behavior. So fear of failure or fear of rejection has to be eliminated. And we spoke about dealing with fear. The only way to do it is actually start doing it. Take small bites and, start going forward. Another approach is obviously life coaching. You need some coaching, to help you. You can't go by yourself doing everything, because whatever you did by yourself brought you to where you are right now. And if it's not good enough, if you feel that you're not climbing anymore and you're complacent, and you know that complacency is holding you back from making more money, from becoming more successful in your personal life and in your professional life, then you know what needs to take place in order to become, to snap out of this complacency mindset. You need to do something. If you dig in and you're asking yourself important questions, and you all of a sudden recognize that you have fear of something, you need to deal with that. Okay. Now, one of the ways to deal with fear of rejection is using role-playing sessions. So you need to book yourself to do some role-playing, work with some scripts and dialogues, work with a role-play partner, with somebody who can actually work with you every day or at least a couple of times a week. And you want to do more training to prepare yourself, to improve your skills, your ability to handle rejection, handle objections over the phone, face to face. You need to build your resilience and become more confident in your abilities. And sometimes, we fall a little bit behind and we need to catch up quickly. And the only way to do that is to stand up and rebuild your confidence by practicing. So skill building. You need to jump right back into skill building, take more training, and do whatever it takes to eliminate the fear of whatever it is you're afraid of. The next point I wrote down, which is number 4, is lack of continuous learning and development, which comes hand in hand with what I just said. So many times you stop learning or you neglect your professional development. You're going in this place where you're not really doing anything, all of a sudden you focus on something else. Maybe, something personal happened to you and it took you away from your focus and your goals and your business. And now it's time to go back and rebuild it. You got to do a couple of different things. First of all, you need to understand, you have to attend industry training, do more training events, go to coaching events, hire a coach, show up every week at the coaching events, especially if it's free. Doesn't cost you any money to go right back into it. You need to develop a culture of learning. Everybody has different values. One of mine is self-development. This is something I've been always doing, focusing on myself, growing myself, trying to bring myself to the next level. Is a continuous work I always do. But it's not like that for everybody. So you need to develop a culture and the value of learning and growing, okay? How can you do that? You need to provide yourself some incentives for continuing education and setting up some, peer learning, learning groups. You can join. There's so many different things you can do. You can read books, listen to podcasts, look at some YouTube videos, go to a live event, hire a coach, pay for online training. There's so many different ways for you to grow yourself today. I mean, it's really, look, today it's much more available than it used to be 30 years ago, 20 years ago. You can go online and find whatever you need. So you need to basically understand the value in having a culture of education. Number 5, burnout or fatigue. So obviously, if you're doing a lot of volume and you're super active in your business and in your personal life, you could reach a point where you have a little bit of a burnout. Normally, they come in when you're not paying attention to it, it hits you in the face, which is another reason to hire a coach, because when you're hiring a coach, the coach will catch you on your way there, and he or she will make sure that you stop from going in that direction, okay? You're not going to be able to see that. It's going to hit you in the face. If you don't want that to hit you in the face, you definitely want to consider hiring a coach and work with someone who can help you, a coach, a mentor, a therapist, someone who can help you. Okay, so burnout, continuous pressure to perform, can easily lead you to exhaustion, which then will reduce your motivation, and then will reduce your productivity, cause you to become more complacent, and all of a sudden you're not taking any action because you have a burnout. So you need to promote work-life balance, okay? Encourage yourself taking breaks, use some vacation time. You need to take some breaks, learn how to celebrate successes on the way. Just need to recognize and realize that if you feel that you're burned out, if you feel that you have no energy and you feel tired and fatigued about continuously doing and pushing, that means that you're not balanced, and you need to find a way to balance yourself. Still, I'm not talking about not taking action. You're still going to be taking a lot of action. You're still going to achieve your goals, but it needs to be done in a balanced way. Number 6, comfort with routine and habits. So getting comfortable in some sort of a routine and not being flexible, not being able to stop something and begin something else, to be more versatile, more flexible in your ways, can very easily cause you to go in complacency. So what do you want to do? Maybe you want to delegate some stuff to other people, okay, so that you can snap out of this routine and start something else. Also, attack old habits that are not necessary and develop new habits that are necessary, okay? Installing a new habit is going to require you to kill an old habit first. Figure out what habits you need to have. Figure out what habits are bad and work against you, distract you from achieving and accomplishing what it is that you wish to accomplish, and eliminate them. And make sure that you maybe have different ways of doing things, so you're not bored. You don't get bored by doing something. For example, real estate agents, you can go door knocking 2-3 times a week, and then phone prospecting 2-3 times a week. Maybe once a week you do a networking. If you're only calling a certain lead source, for example, you're only calling your past clients in sphere of influence, okay, start calling maybe 2-3 times a week some feasibles and expired listings, and call investors and call foreign buy owner, and do other things in your prospecting routine. So changing your routine and bringing in new habits snap you out of complacency. By the way, any one of the things I just mentioned can kill complacency. Number 7, lack of accountability. I mean, this is one of the top on the list. Lack of accountability will kill your business, will kill your potential personally and professionally. I know that. If there is no one holding you accountable, finish what you started can be done only when you hold yourself accountable to do that. If no one else is holding you accountable, then you don't have accountability. You cannot hold yourself accountable, not to the extent that I'm talking about. First of all, if you feel complacent right now, and you are the one holding yourself accountable, you can see what it does. Holding yourself accountable would lead you to complacency. And therefore, you want to participate or in a paid coaching environment, one-on-one coaching, or maybe there are cheaper programs you can go in with a group with other people, like group coaching. That's why we're offering this once a week. I mean, that's free. It's very basic, but it's still going to give you a lot of wake-up calls. It will give you a lot of moments where you're recognizing that you're doing something wrong and you can correct course. But the best approach is to regularly have an accountability partner, someone who's helping you to go back on track, someone who's holding you accountable to do what it is you said you're going to do, someone who's looking at your results, measuring up what's going on, helping you recognize and realize that you're not doing enough, and stuff like that can help you. That's what coaching is all about. You want to create a culture of accountability where every team member is responsible for their own performance and helps to hold other people accountable. That's if you have a team or if you're in a team environment. You can also ask your boss, your broker, someone else above you in your company to hold you accountable. And you can also do what I recommend a lot of agents to do, which is helping accountability. I mean, this is really next level accountability. It's when you write down some checks, say, I don't know, $200. You write 5 checks of $200. You give it to someone, you say, look, call me every week to find out what I did. If I didn't achieve X, Y, Z, cash a check. And then you got money on the table that you're going to lose if you're not doing something. That's probably the highest level of accountability that I know of. And that's something that we do on one-on-one coaching with people that need to step up their game with more accountability. Not being accountable, not holding yourself accountable, lack of accountability in your life will cause you to become complacent. If you don't want to be complacent, start plugging in some accountability. Number 8, negative mindset and negative attitude. What I'm talking about is a negative, an attitude that can drain you, drain your motivation, making it difficult for you to stay productive. Negative mindset will absolutely make you complacent, stay put. You're not going to be able to do anything with a negative mindset. So how do you eliminate? What do you need to do? First of all, you need to recognize, okay? Recognize that you're there. Then you need to start celebrating small wins. Like, okay, I said I'm going to do 25 new contacts, said I'm going to do 50 new contacts, whatever it is every day. You accomplish that, celebrate it by doing something, whatever it is. You just need to celebrate small successes, okay? And that's going to help you build a more positive mindset because you're celebrating something and makes you more positive about, what it is you're trying to accomplish and you're on your way to accomplishing. If I said I need 50 daily to reach my 250 weekly, and every day I do my 50, I celebrate that. And then when I reach my 250, I celebrate. And then when I reach 1,000 every month, I do a bigger celebration. And that's going to cause me to be more motivated to continue going. So you want to implement that in your business. Provide regular feedback. Again, if you have coaching or you have an accountability partner, they can do that for you. You can, also work with a mentor and have, other people in your life, obviously, that provide you with that feedback. You need positive feedback from yourself and others regarding the goals you're trying to achieve. And as you go along, progressing through the process, you take a moment to celebrate that success. Number 9, inadequate leadership and support, meaning you might feel a little bit maybe disengaged or unsupported, okay? And if you lack strong leadership in your company, in your life, or you don't receive adequate support from those around you and the people that you need, that can very easily, make you complacent and lose focus and maybe lose your drive. Many people specifically, if you're looking at the DISC profile, there are specific personality styles that need constant support and constant good word. And when they get it, they can fly. If you need support and you know yourself as someone who needs support, but you don't have it, you need to look for a different environment. So it can be maybe that you need to change a company, and maybe you need new partnerships, maybe you need to join a different team. So there's many different things. You got to think about it. I don't know your situation, but you need to make some changes there. So to go to a place where you can get the support that you need to keep you, on your tippy toes, to keep you motivated and driven. So you want to make sure if you are in such an environment, but you're not utilizing it, then utilize it, Make sure managers are accessible. and make sure that you get regular feedback. Accountability partner, you can also be a colleague that you work with, someone you teamed up with that can give you feedback. Your spouse maybe can do that for you. Your boss, you name it, but you need it. So if you need support and you know yourself that you need it, then you need to find it. You need to, plug it into your schedule somehow. And maybe you have it and you haven't been grateful for having it. So maybe that's something you should work on as well, being more grateful. Number 10, comfort with status quo. So many people may become comfortable with the current situation, with the current level of success, level of performance. You get comfortable, and if you look all across the board at the majority, I'm not talking about everybody, but 90% of all the people that I know in the real estate industry are achieving every year more or less the same level of success they did last year and the year before. And then sometimes you see a jump, like they'll go from 100,000 to 250, and then they get stuck at 250 for like 10 years, 15 years at 250, or they get stuck at 150 or whatever, wherever the ceiling is in your business, in your personal life, getting comfortable with the status quo. Everyone else is at the same level or below, then there's really no need for me, there's no drive for me to go to the next level. And that will bring me back to your goals, what it is you're trying to achieve. Because if you're comfortable with the goals you've set up for yourself to achieve, and you're achieving these goals very easily, you become complacent in that zone, you might want to get that up a notch. What do I mean by that? Is, for example, say you've been thinking about a nice car that you want to get. It's not a big deal getting a new car these days. So you might want to get yourself into more responsibilities and commitments. If your monthly expense is X, what happens if I bring you to 2X? Would you then snap out of your coma and start doing a lot more than you're doing right now, meaning snapping out of complacency? And I found that many people, this is actually helping them. So for example, if they live in a 1-bedroom condo, they go buy themselves a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo, and all of a sudden the mortgage is double and the expenses are double. Therefore, they need to make double the amount of money. Therefore, they find ways of doing that, and they go from X income to 2X. So this is one example. Okay, and you can do that all across the board. With a new apartment, it can be with a new house, it can be buying yourself an investment property, it can be all these different things. But if you don't feel right now motivated to do stuff, I don't want a property, I don't want more income, I don't really need more money, I don't really want to do anything that I'm not already doing, and you're kind of in a rut where nothing is motivating you, obviously there can be deeper layers of, for example, people that go in depression, and at that level, obviously you don't need a coach, you need a therapist, and you need some medication. So, and maybe you need to look into that. Okay, and I invite you to do so. If you feel that you're overwhelmed by these feelings and you're not feeling well, then you need to seek professional advice from a therapist. Regarding coaching, it can also be that someone is in a rut and someone is in a place in their lives where they just don't feel motivated anymore to do stuff. You could very easily snap out of it. It's not such a difficult, place to get out of. The longer you are allowing yourself to be complacent, the harder it is to get out of it. So the sooner you catch yourself and the sooner you're dealing with it by implementing one of the 10 things that I just mentioned to you, the faster you get out of it and you go back on track, feeling alive again. So I'm going to open mic. I'm just going to mention to you the 10 real quickly so you remember what they are. And then I want you to tell me, where do you feel complacent and which of the 10 do you feel can help you? So number 1 was overconfidence about past experience, successes, being overly confident about what you did in the past, and it's not allowing you to go to the next level. Number 2, lack of clear goals and direction. You don't know where you're going, what you want to achieve. Number 3, fear of failure or fear of rejection. And number 4 was lack of continuous learning and development. You're not really plugged in. Number 5 is burnout or fatigue. Number 6, comfort with routine and habits. Number 7, lack of accountability. Number 8, negative mindset or attitude, or negative people around you, negative surroundings. Number 9, inadequate leadership and support. You're not getting the right support. The leadership that in your company is not doing it. And then number 10, comfortable with the status quo. Open microphone. Morning, Celine.
Morning. I run for me, it's a little bit of all of them. But when you spoke about the last one, getting comfortable with the life I'm living, I think that's what happened to me. And also I had a little bit of burnout from 2021 with work, doing everything by myself, not delegating. I felt very tired. My health was declining. So that with getting comfortable, you know, I made some good money, bought the house I wanted, got married, got very comfortable with things and did not put any extra effort into growing my business. But then the beginning of this year got to a point that I was not satisfied with the way my business was, and I had to reevaluate my goals and had to really dig deep for my why. And when I found it, um, that's what got me to into more action. It's still not perfect, but to me, it was that burnout and then getting very, very comfortable and not knowing my why until the beginning of this year.
Well, 2021, you did what you did, you accomplished a lot, and then you obviously managed to, achieve a bunch of goals, buying a house,
Mm-hmm.
getting married, all these different things you did. And then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, your goals list is empty. But the problem was you didn't set new goals. Like, what am I going after now? Now you sit down and you have that
Yeah.
again, you have this list in front of you. And so, you actually spoke about a couple of different, points that we mentioned. The status quo obviously it makes you feel more comfortable. You achieve some
Mm-hmm.
different levels, so that feels more comfortable for you. And there is no need, or there's no real need to go out and do again what you did in 2021. So that was, the beginning. Lack of
Mm-hmm.
clear goals and direction. Like, okay, I achieved that. What's my new direction? That's why I'm
Yeah.
always saying, coaching is not a temporary thing. Coaching
Mm-hmm.
is for life, because otherwise you'll stay where you are, or worse, go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's really about clearing, new goals every year, new direction, where we're going, what's going on, what needs to happen in order to get, to accomplish and all that stuff. I think sometimes fear of failure is also plugged in as well.
Yeah, a little bit of each one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
that's right. And I do new goals every October, but because I am very comfortable living the life I'm living, I don't put any extra effort to accomplish them. But I realize that I need to create some new problems
Yeah,
and to go find more solutions for the problems, commitments to like hire, like for an example, I want to bring 5 family members from Portugal for Christmas here. So I gotta go sell an extra house so I can pay for all those trips. Just an example, you know. Um,
right. The answer to being comfortable with the routine is setting new challenges, and you just
yes,
did it. So
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ron. And that's why I'm here every week. I've been here every week because I am committed to change things.
good for you.
Thank you.
Remember, if you want to speak, you need to unmute. Otherwise,
Yes, I
we don't
was
know.
I was talking by myself here. Good morning. Excuse me. Same here. I think I have a little bit of both, all of them, I should say. And I have been wondering What was the name? Because I know the name for what I was going through, and it's a mixture of complacency, but also life that had gotten into in the way. So
Good. What do you look? You need to know what it is, and then you need to know. I mentioned to you guys 10, and I can email it out later on. I mentioned 10 reasons, and then how to tackle each one. So, for example, someone goes in complacency, can be one of those 10. You can also have others. I just mentioned 10 today. The biggest 10. Burnout is one of them, which I'm sure you experienced as well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's when you mentioned the 10, I took notes, and I can identify myself with all of them.
Yeah.
You know, and my health, my physical health, and my emotional health was part of that. Burnout, I definitely was burnout at one point. You didn't mention laziness, but I'm lazy now. I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, look, complacency is laziness.
Yeah.
Makes you
Oh,
lazy.
yes. Yes. So and I was the other day I was thinking, man, I wish I feel the same way I used to feel when I was like, I didn't mind doing whatever I have to do, paying the price and just moving forward. And I lost that. I loved like the drive. I lost it. I lost it. And I know it has to be also with accomplishing. I'm very thankful that I had accomplished a lot. But still, I have a lot of dreams and goals that they're big, 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 and I want them to get accomplished as well. So it's not time for me to stop or to, to settle down yet.
Yeah, well, look, snapping out of complacency, the sooner you do it, the easier it gets, and the longer you stay in it, the more complicated it gets to get out of it. It's not easy to get out of it, especially by yourself. First of all, a lot of people don't recognize that they're there. Like they don't even know that they're in this moment. That they don't recognize, and if their spouse is not saying anything, and friends are not saying anything, and nobody's really saying anything, maybe you hear here and there, some remarks, but it's not waking you up enough. This is again why I'm always saying, look, you do coaching, and your coach's job. That's the job of a coach. To be in your face and to make sure that you're not experiencing long-term complacencies. That's why it's so important. It's not, hey, Ron, I feel burnout, I'm going to drop out of coaching for a little bit. Or hey, I feel a bit, complacent, like, I don't know what's going on, I want to take a break. Every single time I hear that from anyone, it brings them down deeper into complacency, and it's more and more difficult for them to, come out of it. Look, 87%. I'm not saying that you are or that you will be, and I don't believe that you will be, but this is not just for yourself. A lot of other people are going to listen to this, so it's important that people understand. 87% in the real estate industry, 87% of realtors, this is according to NAR, are quitting the business within 5 years. I believe that 90% of these people, they fall into complacency for whatever one of those 10 reasons, or all of the 10 reasons, all of them. And nobody is bringing them out. They're alone. There's no support, not real support, not the support that they need. There's no accountability. There's lack of goals and clear goals and direction. Okay, they're scared. There is a lot of fear, and a lot of fear. Lack of continuous learning. They don't want to learn anymore because they're burnout. So there's also burnout. You take those 10, and 90% of the people who quit because of those reasons. 10% probably, if there are 10%, and we're looking at, maybe some other reasons that we didn't mention today. So, but you need to understand, you don't fail when you quit. You fail when you stop trying. And that's the thing here. You cannot take a break when you're in complacency. You need to snap out of it. It's hard. Why? Because I'm in complacency. I don't feel like doing anything. So the first thing that snaps you out of it, and I'm giving you guys right now a way out, a quick way out. Whoever feels complacent, I promise you, if you do what I'm telling you to do right now, you got your resolution. This is the solution for complacency, for a quick out of the rut. I don't know what time you wake up in the morning, but you're not waking up at 4:30 a.m. if you're in complacency, because it's not going to happen. I suggest you to put the next 7 days coming up. So we're talking today's Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. You got up at 4:30 a.m. How? Find a way to do it. Same goes on Thursday, Friday, weekend. Maybe you want to break it. The problem with breaking habits is that the old habit is kicking right in. I suggest don't break it. Weekend, get up at 4:30. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, come here next week. Tell everybody what happened. And I promise you one thing. You wake up at 4:30 in the morning, you're not going to be complacent anymore. It's all about the time you wake up in the morning. By the way, people who are incomplacent tend to wake up late or later than they should. 4:30 is too early for you? 5 a.m. 5 a.m. is too early for you? 5:30 a.m. 5:30 is too early for you. This is not for you. 5:30 is already late. So I suggest you do that. You can also take a look at the different scheduling that I recommended. If you want to be a high producer in any field, you follow the same schedule that starts normally at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So if you feel complacent and you want a quick peel to resolve the issue, start getting up early and then go to sleep early. That's what it's all about. I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.